welcome everyone, and this is your friend coming to you live from my basement in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is the Finance Pastor, and what a day in the stock market. The last few days have been topsy turvy with a lot of news really changing the trajectory of the stocks with a huge sell off that was proposed and prompted by a lot of the deep seek AI news that was coming out of China, with some of them having these GPUs from NVIDIA, which in many retrospect, they're not even supposed to have. So there's a lot of revolution and a lot of whispers that are running through Silicon Valley about this deep seek AI news that's coming out of China, which is one of the reasons why a lot of the work that's being done by Congress, by the AI board, is we have to be as Americans on the forefront of the AI revolution and really be in control, because this is a matter of national security. And if we want to keep our place in the national stage, we have to be the innovators. We have to be the ones initiating a lot of these new technologies. And we have not only that, some of the most brilliant minds in the United States that are here and really are going to see this AI revolution really, really boom. Now, the stock market right now has really been flat for the most part. I'm looking at the Dow Jones is up quite a bit. S&P down 13.2%, NASDAQ down. NVIDIA is really struggling, but I'm actually liking the move down for NVIDIA for many value investors or dollar cost average investors. This might be an opportunity to really maybe load up some more if you're waiting. Now, one of the things is that many people believe that Nvidia is like the leader, as many people believe that they are, but they are also the most expensive ones. Now, I don't live in an oblivious or in a world where I don't think that there's someone else that's going to make the same product cheaper and a lot quicker. So that's the thing that I am always concerned about that. And if you've seen some of my videos before, I have expressed that right now Nvidia is ahead of everyone else. Now, how much? That depends. And with these GPU chips, which certain countries are not supposed to have, especially with the tier one, tier two status that the United States is designated for certain countries to have, even though some of them are our allies, they're being designated to tier two AI, not the tier one. So that's something that is very much that we have to look for, that there's going to be other countries really fighting for this AI boom. And it is really important for at least the United States to be at the forefront. And I believe that a lot of these billionaires that are in the space, from Oracle, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and the list goes on, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, these people are going to have to work together. That's the key. They're going to have to work together in order for all of us to prosper during this AI boom. And one of the things that I love is for the average person, for someone like me who's not technology savvy, but maybe there's a lot of the AI stuff really has helped someone like me that really thought that I have to hire people or I have to have this group of people to work, when actually I can have machines doing a lot of the work for me, which you see a lot of these live videos and a lot of these things. It's really AI driven for the back end stuff. And really, that's what a lot of Americans are looking for, a way where they can move forward without having to rely on other people, but we rely on machines. And that's the thing, it's to me, it's the wave of the future, and I'm embracing it. Now, you have many Christians that really feel that investing in the future is a sign like, oh, the end is near. And that's okay for me, because I know that I was made for heaven. I know that I'm here on the earth for a short period of time. Just like that, we'll be gone. And I know that. So while I'm here on earth, I want to occupy. I want to take dominion and territory for the Lord. And how do I do that? In my space, I do it through my investments, whether it's real estate, whether it's stock. That's what you look for. You occupy the land. And if Jesus should tarry, then you know what? You leave an inheritance to your children's children, which is biblical. Or you never know what you start today that maybe a grandchild, a nephew, a niece may take on the torch and just carry it really, really forward. So that's one of the things that I love about this revolution. And also, many people are getting involved in their investing, and many people, I believe, will have chances to really move their families financially forward with the new revolution going on. So I want to take a look at maybe some stocks that we look at forward. I'm going to share my screen. Look at CNBC. I'm going to refresh this. We are also waiting on some news. There's also news coming out. Just a lot of uh, you have some earnings that Tesla is really one of those that we're waiting. Meta and tomorrow Apple. You have a lot of companies going on the offense. Let's go into Trading View and just kind of look at. Let me refresh this. Just see the stock market, what it's doing right now. Really down. The Russell is really one of the only ones that really has been doing phenomenal. Let's look at our friend Nvidia, see what they're doing. Nvidia, okay, we're down just a hair, that 125 mark. I'm actually liking this. Many people might not think this, but I believe this is an opportunity. I'm not saying this is going to go to the moon, but I believe that if you are a dollar cost average investor, I believe this is a time to maybe get in with these drops. Are you going to get in right now? Maybe not necessarily. Do you want to wait maybe to it shows where it could hit a ceiling? And I'm looking at where would be like the next like place. And to me, if it goes all the way down that it could go to 99, there's a gap here all the way on this side, but it was filled here. But you could look at that 102. If it falls down, could be could be a next stop if it falls down. So I am looking towards that. So the earnings is coming up in about a month, and I believe that this is one of those things that you want to look at. But Nvidia is one of those that I am looking, and right now it's just being a dud. So there's nothing really to here to see. Nvidia, Tesla, of course, new earnings after the bell. I'm in this, and this is right here is in yeah, I believe today's gonna be, yeah, 391. That this stock has really been floating around that 390, 391 range. I really I really thought this stock was gonna go down even more through the 377, which is actually if it falls down that far, I'm actually interested in purchasing around that 377 range. That 379 if it falls down. But Tesla, and you can expect anything. This is a stock that you have to have patience. This is a stock that is not going to happen overnight. And this is a stock that when it hurts, it hurts. And this is also a type of stock that when it's great, it is phenomenally great. So this is like many investors, we understand that. So earnings, expect that to be a huge driver in the market. I own the stock. Plus, I'm also in options here for March. So let's see what it happens. I'm on the bullish side, but let's see what happens. If not, it is just it is what it is. It is what it is with this stock. But I love this stock. I love it. I believe it's for the long term. It's an $850 stock. My second tier would be 1500. I just believe he is going to get contracts from the United States. So I'm looking at it from a proximity. He's proximate to a lot of the leadership in Washington D.C. You starting to see Mark Zuckerberg that is buying a home in 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 Washington D.C. and that's another stock that I'm actually very bullish on. Mark Zuckerberg really, I guess he's had a change of heart. I guess he saw the light and I am bullish on this company. I really believe that even though Facebook is one of those that is still going to be around, it is going to survive. And I think my older folks, I still love Facebook. You got the older crowd. This is where people are still going to hang out. And really, the way they're moving into the data and a lot of the shopping, this is where it's moving. You see a lot of the social media companies really trying to double down with almost making it like a mall. but in the cloud, and that to me is going to be the future. Like social media is going to try to make it like the mall. Think of all these malls that are dying. It's going to be like a mall where you can buy product just like in exchange. So I am bullish on Meta. Let's see what other companies we have here. Amazon also. Apple does have earnings tomorrow. So does Amazon have earnings in a couple of days. So looks like it has earnings. February 6th is earnings. So yep, that's something you want to look at. Amazon to me is going to be a bullish stock. Jeff Bezos has really done something special with this company, and you got to give him kudos. I mean, he has really done phenomenally well with Amazon and how he's built it as really he if you look at it, he's the biggest wholesaler in the world, according, and also like kind of to the volume, like Alibaba is kind of under it. But you think of it, he created a space where people from other countries or other part of the world can just have their goods be exchanged and make money off of it with someone else from the other side of the world, and they could create a partnership through commerce. And that's why I really like Amazon. Plus, I also am bullish on Amazon Prime Television. I believe that uh, just like Netflix, I'm also bullish on this one and Netflix, that they're really gonna start streaming a lot of live sports events where they already have a customer base and people are just gonna jump along. Where legacy media, and hear me again, legacy media to me is dead. These companies like ABC's, NBC, these legacy media companies have been very dishonest with the people and can no longer be trusted. And you're going to see a lot of other companies come up and fill that void of distrust that people have with a lot of legacy media that was once trusted. And a lot of these media pundits that really, there was a time when you can watch the news and not even know if the pundit or whoever was speaking was the Democrat or was an independent or was Republican, because they were very centrist. I really like the idea of just report the news and let me decide to see what is right, what is wrong in my own eyes. And that's where I think we want to return back to that type of legacy media and that type of media. And I don't see a company that's doing that yet. It's either too right or too left. And I wish there was one that was right in the middle. Maybe that's you gonna start it. So we will try to look at that. Like Amazon really is one of those companies that I am bullish, and it is because of that. Netflix is also the same thing. And as entrepreneurs, you start looking at where you can kind of dive and move your dollars in this type of economy where you can invest, whether in stock, whether it's in real estate. And I believe that real estate is going to be moving up soon. It's just not there right now unless you're doing new construction. That's the only thing that seems viable. But anyone that I know who has flipped houses, myself included, I'm not doing as many as I was years ago. From 2016 to 2022 was really a boom in the flipping, wholesaling, lease option, seller financing, those type of deals. But it has slowed down, and where you see that stuff has shifted into new construction, buying plots, land, and also really doing new construction. That seems to be the new thing, more moving in that until prices come down lower or interest rates go. That's the key. Because even if you had a house that you didn't like, that you didn't want, but you have a 2% mortgage on it, most people are not going to move from those houses. I wouldn't move. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't move. So I look at stuff like that as many people are going to just stay in their homes until they see something better in the market, and I don't see that coming up soon unless there's new regulation coming up or there's an incentive to build or flip, or there has to be an incentive. So I'm going to see probably more new construction, and you also have many states that have written laws versus the real estate wholesaler, that many of them would now need licensing. They have to be a licensed real estate agent in order to do wholesaling. So you're going to see a lot of that stuff that's coming up in the market. But other than that, you start seeing, let me look at any news here that's of noteworthy. Let's see. Look at Yahoo Finance. You see the Fed is really mulling. The Fed is mulling over, just kind of see if they're going to raise the interest rates. This is something that's going to be key. Jerome Powell has a big say in the direction of where the economy goes. And it almost seems like until he makes a decision of what he's going to do, the government and many of the officials coming into the Trump administration really can't pivot until he makes his decision. Many people believe that if he drops the interest rates, that prices are going to go higher quicker. And some people believe that if he raises rates, it's just going to stagnate the economy. And many people are divided in that because we have printed so much money in the last 6 years that it's incredible how much we printed. We are in a huge deficit, and all we doing here is devaluing our money. This is why I say that savers are losers. You're losing money when you're investing, when you're just saving your money. Why? Because that money's not moving. You have to understand that that money is a currency. It is a current. It has to move. Your George Washington, every time you look at your dollar bill, your George Washington here has to constantly be moving. It's a currency. Look at when you turn off the switch of a light, the current stops, therefore the money drops. So when your money is silent and when your money is just dropping and it's just sitting there, it loses value. That's why when you look at the proverb of the talent, where God told the one that had five, he doubled it. The one he gave two, he doubled it. But the one that he gave one talent buried it. And even God said, and even Jesus said in the scriptures that even if you would have put it in the bank, it would have collected interest. That's why savers are losers. That's why I disagree with a lot of the pundits and a lot of the Christian that talk about saving. Saving is for losers. It's not that you're a loser as a person, it's that our government, by printing so much money, you'll understand that there's a scripture that talks in Proverbs that unjust weights are an abomination to God. Well, what is an unjust weight? The balance of money. The goal that this money's supposed to represent is unbalanced. That's why when you look at unjust weights, scales, and you read that in the book of Proverbs, it talks about money. That's why God detests a lot of the money changers in the temple. Unjust weights, unjust scales are an abomination to God. So if you know that unjust weights and unjust scales are an abomination to God, shouldn't it behoove you to maybe mitigate the destruction of that dollar? Well, how do you do that? Simple. You invest. That's why you have a lot of people that put their money in real estate. That's why certain people that bought a home that was 20,000, 30 or 40 years ago, now that same house is worth 500,000. And that's why you look at your money. It's not that the prices went up, that it takes more of your dollars to buy the same thing. Think of the drink of Coca-Cola. It's a company that really doesn't have to innovate, but the ingredients are the same. Carbonated water, sugar, all these syrup, all these processes. The process to make it has not changed, but the price to make those goods have changed. It's not that it needs something new. It just the price of the dollar has gone down. That's why you invest your money. That's why you don't put it in the bank for savings. That's why people who give that advice of save your money, are really wrong. Nobody likes to say that to people, but it's bad advice. It was good advice 75 years ago, but the rules of money have changed when we were taken off the gold standard in 1971 by then President Nixon. The only thing that's controlling the value of our dollar is what's known as the petrodollar, which was enacted by former statesman Henry Kissinger, which is why we defend the OPEC nations. The reason why we defend the OPEC nations is because they must sell their oil in US dollars. Every country is beholden to the US dollar right now because of the petrodollar. That's why you start hearing about the BRICS nation, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and many other countries that want to, Spain, they want to join. They want to get off the US dollar. Why? Because the value of our dollar is going down. Now, with policy that's going to be enacted by the new administration, this should either strengthen our dollar or will bring more wealth back into the United States. That's why it's important for you to be very astute about your finances. It's behooves you to invest. That's why you have to be involved in your finances. And many people, I don't tell people what I do or what type of investments I do, only with you guys here. But I like investing, I call it the fart method. And I'll say that again. I invest and I call it the fart method. What? It's silent but deadly. Silent but deadly. It's just going out there. I'm making money crop dusting people. That's how you got to take your money. Just be silent and invest your money. Oh, you see people with nice stuff? Don't worry. You got your own stuff working. You have to look at that if you don't take advantage of your own finances, or if you don't take advantage of investing in yourself, nobody else will. You can't blame your financial planner. You can't blame your boss. You can't blame nobody else but yourself. Everything changed in 1974 when Congress passed the ERISA Act, ERISA Act of 1974, which gave the authority of the 401k, the birth of it was in there, meaning this, that no longer pensions, which my parents have, which a company would take care of you for the rest of your life if you worked there 30, 35 years or 25 years. That no longer is the case because of that change in the law in 1974, which made people responsible for their own retirements. Many of you here have 401ks that you are inadequately funded for your retirement. Many of you don't have funds for your retirement. And it behooves you to take the next 4 years, which I believe is going to be one of the best times to invest in the stock market and in real estate, and start taking care of your financial fortress and build it up. That's why you look at the news. That's why you look at what policy, you look at what innovation is coming forth. That'll help you decide where should you invest your money. Now we start looking at different places. We start looking at TikTok. That is another thing that I will look at who's going to buy TikTok, because there's a lot of rumors going around. And there's a saying in the stock market that you buy on rumor and you sell on the news. So you have a lot of people that are buying. Larry Ellison is looking to buy it. You start seeing a lot of other people that they're kind of a bidding war. Many private people. Microsoft is said to be in deep talk conversations of that. And you start seeing that a lot of things are just really moving. Donald J. Trump, the stock, DJT, is really surging. He's been in fintech and crypto. The Trump coin, I bought a few, just kind of to see where it goes. Cryptocurrency is another thing that's really going to be bullish. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at what policies are being enacted. We will be at the forefront of crypto. You should be investing in crypto. I'm not telling you to invest your whole portfolio, but it behooves you to start looking at what could come out of it. Consider this. If you look at crypto, just like the way many people maybe were afraid of when Visa, MasterCard, and Discover came along, if you just like take that same approach, You never know whatever you invest today, what that would be like in 20 years. Now, we just don't know which one's going to be the one that's going to take off. Is it going to be XRP? Is it going to be Bitcoin? Is it going to be Ethereum? Is it going to be blockchain? Is it just going to be one of these Doge coins, these meme coins? Is it going to be something like that in Solana? So many other Litecoin, so many others. We don't know which one's going to take off. But what is going to be important to see is the technology that's backing it up. What is that going to be, and how is it going to change the future and better our lives? That's the key. That's the key to all of this. Anything Tesla earnings after the market? Uh, T-Mobile looks like it's doing well. CEO of Starbucks looked like it's shaking it up. Let me see what other news is here. Let's refresh here. Uh, Apple downgraded. Rivian initiated Wall Street top analyst call. I like Rivian, not because I just think that with the partnership that it has with Amazon, I'm more bullish on Rivian than many people. It has gotten beat up. Now, the thing is, their manufacturing needs to be more on point. They don't have it on lockdown like Elon Musk is very, very good on the manufacturing side. And that's what you're seeing. But right now, this is what we have thus far in the stock market. But we look forward to seeing what else we have. I look forward to seeing what Tesla does today, and I'll come and do another live pretty soon. Until next time, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.